like you want me to repeat it again. So anyways, now that you know your tenses, direct indirect speech becomes much easier. Okay. Now we know about what reported speech is. Reported speech is the indirect speech. Now when we talk about indirect speech, so if you know your tenses, your direct indirect speech becomes easier. Now when suppose there is a conversation between A and B, A is telling something to B, and B is reporting whatever A said to C. So that becomes your reported speech or indirect speech. Direct speech will be whatever A said to B. Now, when B is reporting it to C, if he exactly quotes his words without making any changes, he puts everything inside quotation, that is your direct speech. But if he tells it in his own words, he takes out the quotation marks from there, then there will be some other changes which will be taking place with that, and it will be considered as indirect speech or reported speech. When we talk about these, you need to be careful of the rules, and that too mainly of the tense rules. Now you all know about your tense, what are the different tenses you have and all, right? Different types and all. In unit 5 it was there. Now, depending on that, if you know your tenses well and you follow the rules, then it will be very, very easy for you to understand narration. Okay, because it's not that easy. When you are changing from one tense to another or reporting it, there are some minimal tense changes over there. If you miss out on that, then the entire sentence will be wrong and you will lose marks. Not only that, when you are reporting it, you won't be in any conversation in you won't be in any confusion, in any confusion when you are talking also in spoken English also. It will be very, very helpful. Now you see, these are the rules. So if a sentence is in present simple, how it will how will you change it to indirect speech? It will become past simple. So if it is she said it's cold, she said it was cold. Present continuous, she said I am teaching English online. Past continuous, she said she was teaching English online. Present perfect tense will change to past perfect simple tense. For example, she said I have been on the web since 1999. In it will change to past perfect simple. She said she had been on the web since 1999. You have to see what type of tense it is, the specific type, not only the that okay present means past. No, you see what is changing to what. Present simple is changing to past simple. Present continuous will change to past continuous. Present perfect simple will change to past perfect simple. What is past perfect simple? You will have will change to had with an addition of been over there. So that's why I'm telling you, if you know the tense rules properly, things will become very, very easy for you. Now, this is quite simple to follow. All the present tenses will change to the past counterparts, right? You see. Even the present perfect continuous will change to past perfect continuous. She said, I have been teaching English for 7 years. It will change to she said she had been teaching English for 7 years. So, oh, I didn't present my screen. I should. It will become easier for you to follow. Okay. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this table of a tabular form I have already shared with you. Exactly like this you will be studying, but again my suggestion would be you read the tenses well. Then it will be very easy to follow the narration rules. Then past simple will the past form will be same for all narrative rules. Only simple will change to perfect, continuous will change to perfect continuous, past perfect will remain the same, only you need to take out the quotation marks, and past perfect continuous will also remain the same, no changes over there. Only two changes are past simple will change to past perfect and past continuous will change to past perfect continuous. So you can see here in indirect speech, as far as past tense is concerned, all will have perfectiveness, right? All will have perfect features. Then there are some other changes as far as your future tense is concerned. Now, future, what is future? Everything is similar like the present tense except for the addition of will or will be, right? So there will change to would, can will change to could, must will change to had to, remember this, shall will change to should, and may will change to might. Okay, so she said I can teach English online, then it will be changed to she said she could change English online. Okay, so just you have to replace these modal verbs into the future tense markers, you can call it, and it's the other variety of modal form, or the other form of this particular modal form. You have to just remember this. Then, as far as time and place changes are concerned, there also you have to make some changes. So, for example, if I am telling you now I am teaching English, you are going to report my speech to somebody else. You will be saying, "Teacher said that she was teaching that then she was teaching English." Now will be replaced by then. Okay, so same way, if I say tomorrow I will do that, you need to change it to indirect, direct, sorry, indirect speech. Then what changes will take place? First, tomorrow will become the following day, and rest of the things like the teacher said. Uh, the following day she would will change to she would do the work. That's it. Then there is a whole list as far as time and place changes are there. Okay, just you need to replace this thing with this thing in indirect speech. Now pronouns, of course, you know it's that according to the situations you need to make changes. Like I run 5 kilometers every day, said she. Here simple. She said she. I will be replaced by she said. She runs 5 kilometers every day. Similarly, demonstratives, there are some changes. This changes to that, and these changes to those. Now, said, told, and asked are the most common verbs which are used in indirect speech. Okay. Now, we use asked to report questions. Okay. And we use told with an object. And said is the statement kind of, where rest of the parts without an object we make use of said. Okay, most of the times we use said only, but if be mindful, when there is a question you have to put asked. The same manner, there are some other verbs. If in the question you can understand that there is some kind of advice or some kind of an order or suggestion, or it's a reply, then according to that you will be making use of these action verbs. Then whatever I discussed now, that has been given. Okay, asked, said, when to use. You can use wonder also. Now WH questions. Okay, they change pronouns, time, and place expressions. So if it is written, he said, "Why didn't you put on the brake?" It will change to, he asked why she had not put on the brake. Now, didn't you is past perfect, a past tense, right? Past tense. It will change to past perfect. So, had not. Okay. Why will remain the same? While will remain the same. Question mark will go off. So, he asked why. Question mark's place has been taken by asked. Said will change to asked. He asked why she had not put on the brake. So these types of changes you need to make. If it is yes no type question, then how will you change it? For example, can you pass me the salt? She asked. Then you need to change it like this. She asked if or whether. If or whether I could. Can will change to could. If I could pass her the salt. Okay. There are a lot of examples given over there. Okay, again, commands, requests, and advice. Already I told you. Now, there are some negative commands also. For example, don't swim out too far, boys. I said, or I want um, the boys not to swim out too far. Not to. Not plus the infinitive, not to. Offers, suggestions, all you have to make use of these verbs instead of said and asked and informed. What about exclamations in indirect speech? For example, he said, "What a dreadful idea." So you have to change it like this. He exclaimed that it was a dreadful idea. Okay, he exclaimed with joy, or he was surprised. Whenever you see an exclamation marks, you have to make use of those kind of words, surprised or exclaims. Okay, so that is all we have in direct indirect speech. Now we have attached some exercises so you can practice that. Okay, you practice them. uh, Little bit of practice is always required when you do your tenses or any grammar topic mainly. Okay, grammar requires a lot of practice, then only you will get perfection. So read from the notes. Okay, your tenses, narration, whatever grammar you have in your course, active voice, passive voice, and all of that, please read from the notes. It's very important. Then some things you have to memorize, for example the rules with examples. Then there are some exercises given over there, you can practice. You can also take test for yourself online and see if you are able to do that. There are so many worksheets available online. Remember when we have also solved some when initially some units we did like that, we used to practice. But unfortunately, because it's a pandemic and we suddenly your CI2 is approaching, and after that we are not getting any classes, like this everything is happening. So otherwise usually see this entire instructions which we are giving you, not only about English, for all subjects, units 1 to 5, it's done in 4 months. So you can imagine, but still thankfully we covered everything in detail. That's the best part. That's why we attach the exercises with the notes itself, so that you can practice it. right? Otherwise, if we won't attach the exercises, you will never practice it, and you will never put any effort to search it also. But it's always advisable you try to solve as many problems on grammar as possible. That will make you refine. Now, you are asking me to repeat report writing once more, so I'll do that, but quickly, okay? Since it's a revision. Now, students, report writing, the main thing you need to understand is that here, report means you have to give the correct facts, correct everything, the data, whatever is there, you have to just report. Whatever was there, you have to report. Nobody is asking for your emotional expression over there. You have to just cite the facts. That is what is meant by report writing. Something which has happened and you are reporting now. In report writing, you have to make use of very technical language. Okay, very technical language. Whether it is a report on an accident, whether it is a report on a college fest, or it is a project report. Language should be very precise, concise, less grammatical errors, punctuations, and to the point, and brief also. So please take care of those things while writing a report. And here, see, you will be studying about the features, purpose, the function, language, and this is the structure of a basic report. And this structure is ideally for a project report, students. Everything is not whatever is mentioned here is not required for other reports, like general reports, for example a college fest and all. There are some parts from here you can take and write. But again, see, any general reports also, whenever you are writing, give a proper title, your name with designation, date on top, and then you make sections and subsections according to the type of questions which you have got. That will be more impactful. So here we have given an example of the project report. So project means you have done a research on something, you are ready with your results, and now you are giving a project, or you are writing a project report. So you will have a cover page, a title page. Cover page is the cover of a book kind of a thing. Title page will also repeat the same things which are there in the cover page. Then you have the acknowledgements, people who have helped you in doing the project. Then table of contents, right? Then abstract. Abstract will be 5% of your entire project. So basically, you are summarizing what you have done in this particular project, or what this report carries. Then comes the main parts. You will have introduction, procedure of your experiments, findings, okay, the conclusions, and some
Ma'am,
recommendations. Yes, tell me.
sir said that we should write a report like an essay, just 3-4 paragraphs, ma'am.
That
I
is for general reports. I told you, no? That is for general reports. Okay, but make some subsections like date. Okay, suppose if you are making some sections or subsections like date, or when event was about, or introduction, okay, something like that, there also you can include. Again, you have to see what type of reports you have got. Essay, you cannot write an essay. I'm so, I don't know why sir told you. Definitely, see,
not essay, ma'am. Like
yeah,
3 paragraphs.
yeah, of course you can write. You have to write 3 paragraphs. Okay, introduction, body, and conclusion for general reports. Okay, these are project reports and technical reports. You see, I told you, no, there are two types of reports, and see, both the types are very technical. Even if you are writing general reports, what you will write there? Suppose a college fest took place, and you are going to report that for your college magazine. Okay, so there, of course, you cannot write an essay. You have to give the details whatever took place. So on this date, this department conducted a college fest. Then who all uh, who all participated in that college event or college fest, you will mention that which departments took part in that. Then you will be talking about different types of activities which took place. See, you have to be imaginative, but what you are doing here, you are just presenting whatever happened over there, right? So you will be writing those, how many, who stood first, suppose who stood second, which department became the winner, something like that. Again, these are facts. These are facts. Those you will be writing. And then some general things you will be writing. There you can be little emotional. You can say, you can write by your own, that overall the college fest was a success and we learned this, and something, some thing you will make a cook up and you will write it there. But report writing is always about facts. You need to remember that. Suppose you are writing about college fest and there is a particular event like poetry recitation, then don't keep on writing about poetry. That poetry is very helpful in this, that. Okay, one line is enough. But nobody is asking you to write an essay on poetry over there. You just have to write that it was very beneficial for the students as they did that. They enjoyed this, like that. You have to be brief and to the point. Now, brief doesn't mean that only one paragraph you will be writing. You will be writing 3 paragraphs for general reports. Your college fest events, any quiz competition, accidents, road accidents, and all. These are your general reports. Technical reports are business reports, where you are going to show the success of a particular project. Okay, there also it will be a project, or it can be a research report, right? The project you will be doing or the research you will be doing, for that you are going to write a report. Got it now? So most of the cases you get general reports for first years. Okay, but we saw in 2014 a question paper, I think. Yeah, but it's a previous one, so I'm not going to share with you because everything is different there. There, though it's not in course project report, but it came. Okay, for looking at that, every time we are teaching you both the things. Okay, how to write a report. So you have to be um, clear about it. If you are getting general reports, then also write the title page, means a topic, your name, designation, date, today's date when you are writing the report. Very, very crucial. Then you will be starting with the dates and all on this. Uh, you will be starting with that, or there are variety of types. You can make it into sections and subsections also, right? Like for example, the dates of the events. Okay, the different types of activities conducted, then the takeaways of the particular event, then the valedictory session. Okay, it can be anything. So that's what I mean by sections and subsections, right? You can make it more impactful. But of course, for general reports, you will not get these points. These are for research reports and business reports. Okay, mainly. Few things you can take it from there, like the title page, then the conclusions. Okay, recommendations also sometimes you can write, some extra things you can add. So that is exactly, see, it's up to you how much you can insert there. So sir, suppose sir has told you, or even I am telling you, that 3 paragraphs you have to write. So you can make 3 sections for those 3 paragraphs, right? Introduction, body, and conclusion. That's the most simple way of writing a report. Or else you can make it like that, what I told you, that the topic of the event, dates, and all the different activities, prize distribution ceremony, like that. Also you can make some sections and subheadings, but ideal thing is 3 paragraphs. What sir said, it's okay, but definitely you will not make it an essay form. Okay, essay is slightly different from, not only slightly, but essay is something you are imagining, you are writing, or you are expressing yourself, your thoughts on a particular thing. But in an essay, in a report, you have to exactly state whatever happened. You have to mention all the facts and everything in detail. There also you can just express yourself in 4 5 lines, that how successful was the event and all. That's it. Okay, understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So please don't get confused over there. See, different types. See, these are informal reports and formal reports. You get for your exam formal reports only. General reports are not listed over here. It's called, the name is changed over here. It's called informational reports. Any general reports are informational reports. Reports itself are they are for information giving purpose only, right? So these are the different types. But students, you are not going to get feasibility report and all of those. If at all your luck is not that good, then only you will be getting project or research report, because only once it came for first years. Other than that, most of the time, even the previous year's question paper, I didn't send you. Okay, I'll send you that. I Report writing came or not, I have to see exactly last semester, but before that it came, I know. So there also every time general reports are coming. Okay, so read some examples of general reports, right? And make sure, if possible, see, you can even include a table over there also. Suppose day wise schedule you want to mention, that also you can do, again depending on the topic. Whatever topic you get, depending on that you can do such things. But report writing at this level, you have to be technical. You have to be technical and you have to follow all the features of a good report. And you will not write less. You have to write more for reports also. So three big paragraphs you have to write, and you can write more than that also. Nobody will question you. But three
Ma'am, we have to
paragraphs.
complete within one paper only, ma'am.
Yes.
These
What
letters
you
and
are
reports, ma'am.
no, let see, no. 2 pages minimum it will take. Letters also are lengthy letters only which are going to come. Report writing also, it will report writing, okay, maybe or 1.5 page. But you know what? The sad part is that still people who are correcting, they go by the number of pages you have written. Okay, but ideally for me, I will tell you, see, we don't ask in our college also. When we are asked to give a report, we give only 1 page report, right? But that is typewritten. So that's a typed report. So obviously it is, when you are writing the same thing on paper, then definitely it will exceed 1 page. But then also I would say 1 page is enough. But there are some examiners who won't be giving you marks for writing so 1 page, because 7.5 marks it carries. If it carries, if it is 4 marks, then definitely 1 page is enough. But suppose if it is 7.5 marks it carries, then you also know, I also know that I have to write more than 1 page, right? So there, students, you have to go by the page number, considering the evaluation, how it is being done in OU and all. Always you go by the marks distribution. Okay. See, most of the times letter writing you get for 7.5, report writing is lesser than that. Okay. But now during the pandemic, everything has changed. See, you get, I think, 15 marks question, 4 questions you have to attempt, no? And they are divided like 7.5, 7.5 or something like that. So it's these things have changed, no? So that's why, to be on the safer side, please see the marks and then you write. 2 marks questions, one small paragraph is enough, right? Or a big paragraph, if you have time, is enough, 1 paragraph. Or suppose 2 marks means 4 long points, okay, 4 lines, but a crucial point, not four, I think you have to write, give 6 or 7 points there. Or if you are giving only the points but nobody entertains that, suppose if I am asking you for report writing features, you are writing precise, brief, to the point, no, that's not accepted in English. You have to write something about that briefness or brevity. Okay, just you write be brief, and then you write that while writing a report you need to give the facts only. That's why make it brief, not lengthy. These are the features. So report writing itself, we are mentioning that it should be brief, but again we have to be clever here. Going by the marks you have to write. 7.5 marks means, see, we have already corrected the papers, last semester papers. Students are writing 3 to 4 pages also. So they are easily managing, and they are scoring good marks. And of course there are few students who are not writing much. So if suppose report writing they are writing, I will give them marks for one page if it is good, written in a good manner. I usually don't go by the number of pages they have written. Okay. So, but if it is an essay, definitely I will expect that 7.5 marks means 3 pages or minimum 2 pages I want, not one page. Right. So we don't know who is correcting the paper. To be on the safer side, see the marks and according to that you write. But of course report writing is very difficult to write 2 entire pages, so you write at least 1.5 page. Okay, if you manage well, writing two
Ma'am, but
pages
in assignment we written only one paper, ma'am.
Okay, I have not started correcting others. See, report writing one page is enough. I'm telling you, no students, this is only for if the marks exceed, suppose you are getting one report and for that report you have 7.5 marks. So the common sense, right? Nobody will give you marks only for writing only one page, right? That's how it is going on. But definitely if your language is very good and you are managing to write everything, some might give you marks, those who are reading the scripts in detail. Okay. But usually what I have seen that the evaluators are not giving marks, if even if it is a report also they want them to write more. Okay, that only one page they have written, like that they will be you know complaining. So the even see paragraph writing, we say paragraph writing is also one page or 1.5 page. It should be enough. So if you see that it's 4 marks, that's fine, write one page only. If you see that it carries 7.5 pages, at least write 1.5 pages. Try to push yourself to that margin. Big 3 paragraphs, one 2 paragraphs in first page and the and in the second page the last paragraph. Just you should know how to increase the volume. But again, always we prefer scripts which have less repetition, which are relevant to the topic. In writing, see, we get such type of papers also where students have written 6-7 pages also, but there is no sense. There you will get simply 2 or 3, or maybe not even that. Even if you have written 6 pages senselessly, nobody will give you marks for that. In that way, one writing one page solid when you don't have enough time is more, it's better than to write 6 pages senselessly. Okay, so just be mindful of that. I see, if I am the evaluator, I will not deduct marks based on the quantity. Of course, essay, as I told you, essay you need to write more. Letters also you can write more. But paragraph writing, guided writing, and report writing, one page is standard, right? But you never know. Just there is a chance of losing 2 marks or 1 mark over there. That's why I'm telling you. And writing more in a report, if you are writing the correct points, okay, there is no repetition and all, will not give you less marks for sure. Okay. So report writing, those things you will be following. And has sir done the revision thing for all units? Has he revised? Anjanelu sir, has he revised?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I will do that. Okay. Revision means we'll see topic wise and I'll let you know how you will be preparing. 1 second. Always when you are revising, I can tell you about English, because in English we have provided you notes exactly following the sequence and the in the syllabus whatever you are having. There is no extra thing over there, there is no less thing over there. It's just exact. So unit 1, you just for syllabus wise you will be reading it up. Unit Y, you have Archinarans, a horse and 2 goats. When I taught you this part, I already told you only summary reading will not help you. because you are going to get paragraphs from inside the story. Read the text once or twice. Okay, then you read the summary if you feel like, or you can skip the summary part. Then you go for the some important question answers which we have already attached, and you see, when you will be reading, you see that whether you will be able to reflect on each of these paragraphs or not. Think and read, think and read. In that way you can prepare well. Then you have word formation, prefixes, suffixes, and word roots. So either some prefixes will be given to you. Prefixes are attached before the word and suffixes attached before the root word, right? Sometimes prefixes will be given to you and you will be asked to make a new word. Some suffixes will be given to you and you will be asked to give words which are having those suffixes. Sometimes a root word will be given to you and you will be asked to attach a prefix and make a new word. It can be either way. Then you have articles, determiners, and prepositions. Under determiners only you have articles, or different 9 to 11 types of determiners are there. Each of them you have to remember, students. What are, see, you have these, that, those, you have might, you have a and the, of course. On the numericals you have one, then third, fourth, all of that, one, two, three, all of that you have to study the list. Then the prepositions also, there are different types of prepositions, what are their applications and functions. Read with the examples and then prepare. Of course you are going to get objectives, but I saw there was one question on preposition itself. What are prepositions, what are the different types of prepositions? Now what will you do? So you have to study the definitions also, just that. Nobody usually asks the types, right? But you should know in your head that what are the different types, but get ready for any type of definitions. Okay, because we have seen questions coming from that area also. Guided writing is quite easy. You will be given some verbal cues or some images or something like that. You have to give an appropriate topic and write paragraph, right? Or based on that particular cues or help, whichever you are getting. Then in Unit 2, we had Rudyard Kipling's If poem. Students, whenever you are reading poems, that time, read the explanatory parts. In our notes, we have already given. What does those two lines means? You read the lines and see the meaning. Read the lines, see the meaning. In that way, you will be reading a poetry. Then you have in word formation, compounding, blending, and contractions. You should know what are those, what are the differences between them. Remember, like compounds are, they bring two words together. You have contractions, like who has becomes who is. Okay, I have becomes I have, I and ve. Those are the contractions. That won't take much time. You will be reading that. Then you have transitions and connectives. um, some people had doubt, I don't know whether from your sections, they were asking me, I think it, from Civil C, that they are getting confused in transitions and connectives. Don't get confused, students. In the exam, they will be mentioning whether you have to provide a transition or a connective. We have given you transitions list and the connectives list. Okay. So connectives will be connecting. There will be two connectors over there in a sentence. Okay. Although I planned to make a vacation trip for, over the weekend, but okay, so although and but will go together. Like this it comes. Whereas transitions can be of one word only. Like for example, therefore, provided, those words are called transitions. Then you have paragraph writing. Of course, you know how to write a paragraph. And see, again, students, paragraph writing doesn't mean you will be writing only one paragraph, but you will be writing minimum 3 paragraphs. Okay, we always expect there will be introduction, body, and conclusion for any type of writing. Then you have Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. It's a short speech. Recently it was done. Uh, all those issues which King talks about, you should know. Questions usually comes from those racism, nationalism, and all those types of questions. Okay, any line they can pick and give it to you, and you will be asked what did he mean by that. So whatever he talks about, that should be thorough with you. You should read the entire text. Then synonyms, antonyms, one word substitutes. These are vocab sections. All you have to memorize the list and all. As much as you are reading them, that will be better for you. Then voice, active voice, passive voice. Most of the times you are given an active sentence and you need to convert it into passive voice. Again, a lot of tense rules are applied over there. We have prepared nice PPTs and we have uploaded in your Google Classroom. Read those rules, students. What is changing to what? Tense wise, they are changing, right? So you have to read them up. Then you have letter writing. Letter writing, different types can come. Okay, so you read whether it can be order letter, it can be personal letters are not there in your course. Okay, so for all types of formal letters, inquiry letter, request letter, response to inquiry letter, response to request letter, job applications can come. Okay, so those things you need to prepare. Then Robert Frost's Road, not taken recently. It was done. You should just the way how poetry I told you. If you will be studying the same way, you will study this also. Then homonyms, homophones, and homographs. I shared with you a tabular kind of thing. You will be following that in order to avoid any type of confusion over there. Okay. Homophones means sound is similar, spelling is different, meaning is different, right? So in that way there are differences. So like that you will be studying. Then narration, just now I discussed. Again, tense plays a very important role over there. Then report writing, we discussed now. Then sporting spirit, it is an excerpt. You need to read the text in order to answer the questions. Then inclusive language and euphemisms, we have given a list over there in inside Unit 5 notes. You have to read it from there. Then you have tenses. You can't get enough of tenses. If you are preparing your tenses well, then you will be cover most of the grammar topics, right? Which carries a lot of marks. So please focus on tenses, the most crucial of all things in grammar and vocabulary. You know, objective part, you can be asked any type of questions from there. Not only that, it will improve your writing also. When you are writing a letter or a report, it will improve, help you there also. Then you have statement of purpose, SOP. Now, students, we have in our notes, we have shared one statement of purpose. Remember? See, ideally, you should never copy someone else's SOP when you are actually writing an SOP in order to apply for foreign universities or all. Okay, it should be original, and you can take some cues, but you have to reflect your heart over there. It will be more convincing, right? I think sir taught you SOP because Unit 5 he dealt you. I'm sure he must have told you about all of these. So SOP writing, in your notes, we have given you one single example. If you read the notes, you'll find one sample over there. What I feel, students, that you, for the time being, you just follow that sample and keep your SOP ready. Out of all writings, SOP writing, whenever one student writes, no, most of the times he gets good marks. If because SOP writing, we know that it cannot see. Letter writing, you don't know what type of letter will come. Report writing, you don't know what type of report will come. But SOP writing, there is only one subject, one topic, right? Universities might change or something, people's names can change. That's it. But SOP has only one type. So why not giving it a chance? SOP, if it is coming, I will suggest you compulsory you attempt that because you will be preparing one sample SOP. Okay. If you wish to mug up that, memorize that, you do that also. It's fine if you are writing for your exam, but don't copy anyone else's SOP when you will be developing your own SOP. Please keep that thing in mind. So for the time being, you can simply follow that sample from there and you can write. As I told you, because SOP will be simpler for you to follow and write. There are not many types and you exactly know what the question can be, right? So that will give you straight away 7.5 marks. If not 7.5 marks, you will get 6.5. if you are managing to write a good SOP. So out of your 15 questions, I think 8 questions you attempt, right? So one question is done like this. So see, one thing, student, you are going to get questions from every area. So if you feel I will say grammar you cannot leave, vocabulary you cannot leave, the texts and the poems you cannot leave. Okay, you should know about the writings also. See, questions will come from every area. Now only if you will feel that I will leave unit 2, that will be highly risky. You cannot leave students any topic. You don't know how it will be given to you. In doing that, you might end up losing a good amount of marks. Okay, so if you, during the time of, you have to prepare from all topics. During the time of exam, if you feel that you are not comfortable with a particular topic, then of course you have the choices, right? So prepare well. All notes have been given to you. Unit 5 assignment sir will give you. Okay, or I'll discuss with sir, and I'll post unit 5 assignment also. Now, once I think from second onwards, your exams are starting, or first onwards, they are starting. We are going to submit your marks on Sunday itself, next Sunday or something like that. We have got a deadline. And in between, you will be coming to the college for lab classes, I think, coming Monday onwards. So keep your hard copies also ready with you, because anytime we will be asking for you to submit that. Okay, but for the time being you need to upload it online also, because we don't, online also we need to keep a record of. Make sure that you have done all your assignments. They are very crucial. All total 5 assignments we have given you. Fifth one I will give you today. So 1 2 3 4 5 for each unit should be there. Then only you will get 5 out of 5. If at all, if there is no paper uploaded over there, how can I give you marks, students? I really want to give you good in assignments. 5 marks solid you should get from there, because your internals and assignments are very crucial to uplift you, right, and giving you good marks. So but CIE 2, if you are writing good, definitely you will get good marks. But if you are not writing well, then I'm sorry, I cannot give you marks liberally. I'm trying my best. I'll try my best to give you good marks, but don't think that if it is up, it's not up to the mark, and still I'll give you 1920. I have given students 1920 also, but if their language is very good, everything they have followed and written. In English also nowadays you get 19 and all. Hardly you get 20 who has written excellent. So that person only gets 20. So that's all. I will take your attendance from the chat box itself. So while leaving,